speaking of comebacks, I got a crazy story that's giving me like Jurassic Park vibes. It's also got this like crazy conspiracy theory that I'll get into. But for start, let me just explain what's happening. So,
Ethereum went viral, and not for the reason that you think.
yeah,
It went erect.
yeah. The stock price has erected.
Oh, I wasn't talking about the stock price.
Oh,
I'm talking about the founder of Ethereum's cock.
is it weird if we start the podcast talking about dicks or no?
Well, we're gonna have that little snippet at the start, and like I guess.
So what do you guys think? Did you guys see this? Did you guys see this picture that's going viral?
Oh yeah, I like it.
What was your first reaction?
Buy as much ETH as I can.
Did you see the caption before you saw the picture, or was it the other way around?
No, I just like I think I saw like an ironic tweet of it. It was like someone pretending to be the woman that he was standing next to and be like, "Nice to meet Vitalik" or something, and like that was the picture. Like obviously, like is it photoshopped?
I mean, I don't know if we've seen the original, but it's circulating so much. I feel like it has to be an authentic image, and also it's not
Circulating.
Circulating.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not big enough to be like a Photoshop job. You know, like if someone's gonna do it, they're gonna like do it even more extreme than that.
But the thing
it's
is
just
that,
on the line.
But the thing is that Vitalik is like you don't associate him with having, like no offense, Vitalik, right? I just don't ever think about his penis. So
No
like,
offense.
Yeah, like
You guys know how italics are like words slanted off to the side?
Yeah.
So for
For Vitalik. Dude, are you serious? That's so funny. He literally, his dick is italic.
yeah.
It's italicized. It's vitalicized.
Oh my god.
Here's what I'm thinking.
it's not Italian sized, I can confirm.
The thing that I think is funny is like Lewis, you mentioned earlier, there's something not right with him.
Yeah.
He's a super genius.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think it's like kind of like pick two, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can be like a normal dude and also smart,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't then also have a huge dick.
I think it's huge dick, funny, or smart. You
And
have
he-
to have two.
And he picked huge dick and smart.
Yeah.
A lot of guys out here don't even have one of those.
No.
You know what I
I
mean?
struggle to have one of those. Yeah. And meanwhile, yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So, what's your take on Vitalik's dick?
That was my take.
That's your take.
Yeah, that he has like two, and he can't have a third, and that's probably why he's like a little bit of an oddball.
Mhm.
Like, how do you end up being a super genius and packing like that?
Mm-hmm.
The merge is coming up September 15th.
What's merging?
Proof of snake.
Oh, what a way to start the episode, Lee. How are you doing today?
Pretty good, man. Excited for episode 27?
26, I think.
26.
Yeah. Storm, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. I mean, I was in a horrible mood until I saw that picture.
And then you
Then I went all in on Ethereum
went warm and fuzzy.
for crying out loud. So, Vitalik, this one's for you, bud. You want to just start the episode off, Lee?
Yeah, man. We got a lot of great.
A lot of great stories today.
We always say that, but today we really do. Welcome to the Fast Forward Podcast. I'm your co-host Lee.
And I'm your co-host, Lewis, and welcome to the fastest growing Canadian tech podcast in the universe.
This week I got a story, Lewis, about a conspiracy theory that's giving me some serious Jurassic Park vibes from a new company.
Okay.
And we're also going to be talking about some of the biggest players in the NFT space. And I'm talking about like legacy brands.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Well, I'm going to be talking about podcasts. Not this one. Podcasts and the future of it. Some huge competitors coming in. We're also going to go into some interesting stories about Google. Surprise, surprise. And for Rewind, it's not going to be technology based, but I'm interested in telling you because you definitely have felt the impacts of this one. Ready to start it, Lee?
Yeah, let's
Roll
go.
that intro.
It's actually, I'm going to introduce a topic this week. Yeah, let me kick it off. Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy are joining forces to launch Tomorrow Sports.
Wait, tomorrow like our tomorrow?
Tomorrow with no vowels.
Are you
What?
serious?
I know.
Did we get a check for this?
We don't get no checks. And you know what? Every time I've searched up our name on Google plenty times, and there's like 8 different companies that have stylized it. Like what? Why is this not
They're all trying to be
original?
us, you know?
And like, I
Usually-
swear we haven't looked up anything. Like, I mean,
No, when we came up with the name, it wasn't the thing. There was
Yeah.
only one company in Singapore, and I was like, who cares?
yeah.
So
Usually it's 1R. And
Yeah.
this one is also an example of 1R. So they
I
dropped.
I like the 2 R's better.
Yeah, me too. But maybe some bias there.
Yeah. For those that don't know, the listeners, our company that the 3 of us work at is called Tomorrow Inc. And we took the vowels out to be cool and trendy. This was in 2019.
Yep.
So
So these guys are being trendy. The company is building technology-focused ventures that feature progressive approaches to sports, media, and entertainment.
Are you serious? They even took our value proposition
I
as
know.
well.
But they do something totally different. Storm, what do they do?
So yeah, they shortly after announcing that venture, they unveiled that they're going to be doing a Tomorrow Golf League, which is a team-based, tech-driven golf league. There's 18-hole matches, and it'll take place on a virtual course decked out with cutting-edge technology and an authentic green area for chipping and putting. With the 2 biggest names in golf, Tiger and Rory, the future looks bright for this new league. And I think that they should hire us. It only makes sense to be doing the video work for them and the
Oh
advertising.
my
and
God.
the works, right? But there's a
The
picture in
logo
there.
looks like ours too. If you see the logo in the top corner,
It
left
does look
corner,
similar.
I'm done.
It always does, man.
I'm seriously so pissed off. We need to beat these motherfuckers to market.
We're gonna launch
Well, you
our
know what
own
I
golf
hate?
league with the Saudi Arabia League.
You know what? They straight jacked. Look at the T. That's our old Tomorrow logo.
Yeah. They definitely like saw it somewhere.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's just I'm pissed off.
Did Tiger Woods steal our logo?
Tiger Woods hates small business.
This logo looks like suspiciously like our old logo, and all they did was like take away the extra R.
I've already come up with a plan that we're going to do this.
You know what I hate about this?
We need. So who's the best in golf in our team?
None of us play golf.
No one. Okay. Well, I'll take it upon myself. I need a 3-month sprint of learning how to get good at golf so I can beat Tiger Woods.
Yeah, and then we'll tell Tiger Woods that he sucks.
I'll tell Tiger Woods that he sucks.
Well, Mike Weir won the green jacket. He's from Sarnia, so maybe we'll get him on board.
We can recruit him.
Yeah.
What I hate about this whole thing is like what happened to like if we wanted to get into like sports advertising management. Now Tomorrow Sports is like off the table
Yeah.
because they took that.
There goes my aspirations.
Yeah, that was like it's like Storm's whole dream here
Yeah.
was like to start the Tomorrow Sports division.
Yeah.
What do
Are
you
you
got-
serious, Tiger Woods? You hurt an innocent young man. Tiger
You guys-
Woods hates young people, and he wants to hurt you.
You guys know the old stories of him with his like ex-wife, right, and the cheating and
Oh, yeah.
all that. So
Have I heard
Yeah,
of it?
I-
Jens, that's like a taint on that man's legacy.
That's
speaking of taint, have you seen Vitalik? No, but check out the picture here, guys. What do you think of the stadium that they're proposing here?
so my first thought is this looks like fun to watch on TV.
It does.
This looks like you know how when you play like Mario games and they take, it's like Mario Strikers
Yeah.
or
Mario Golf.
Tennis, Mario Golf. They like take the game, but then they just make it fun and cool.
By like making it arcadey kind of.
That's the vibe I'm getting from this. And Storm, when he was talking about this earlier, he mentioned that it's like a team thing, right?
Yep.
How does
that's
that
right.
work?
So there's going to be like it's combined score. Teams of I believe it's 3 actually. So it'll be like 3v3 and their best scores. So I think for chipping and putting, it's going to be physically in person. But then when they're doing the long drives like they would outside, they're doing it against a virtual screen where the golf ball hits. That's where they do the distance that way.
So wait, hold on.
Probably stops cheating.
So they can do this in like a confined space.
Yeah. It's like the stadium that you see here. Yeah.
Now here's my question: the floor, does it change like in curvature and stuff, or is it always the same?
It looks virtual.
I'm
Like this almost looks like a gaming arena.
Yeah.
I'm seeing what I don't know. It's pretty early still. They're saying
Yeah.
January 2024 for launch. So this is an early concept,
Yeah.
but if the
We got
floor would be
time.
able to change, that'd be cool.
This is like golf in the future, right?
Yeah.
This is like what you would see in like a sci-fi movie when they're still playing golf, but they've completely like cyberpunked the shit out of it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I'm getting here, and like it looks like some of the participants. I know it's a mock-up, but I could see people like tuning in virtually,
Yeah.
like through VR and like kind of watching like online.
Yeah, Tiger Woods even said that golf is not the most accessible viewership for fans as it is. So that's like kind of their goal with this is to bring in a new younger audience with it.
Yeah.
The part that is crazy to me is that I could see something like this happening. It's hard to imagine that like these two like major incumbents that are playing the legacy game would also be the ones that want to change it like this. Like normally it'd be like a new crew, and then all the big dogs are doing it the old way.
Yeah.
And you know, this would be like a disruptive new thing. But it's like these two huge golfers that are saying, no, there's a better way for golf to go, and we think it's this way.
But it's funny too because like with Tiger Woods, Men's is not like dude just basically owns golf. Like he's like the only. I mean, for us, Mike Weir, because Mike Weir is from our city, Sarnia, Ontario, but no one else knows. Like I couldn't name any.
If you don't know golf, and I ask you to name a golfer, you're gonna say Tiger Woods, and then you're gonna pause.
Dude's literally the GOAT of golfing, and to him, like there's always gonna be like the old, like because golf kind of has that like old money type of vibe to it, right? Like with the horseback riding and polo, whatever. So it'll always be here. This is just a nice way to basically bring in a whole new audience.
This is going to make the game much more accessible to like a lot of people that are growing up that are not interested in golf at all. So I think it's actually good for the sport as a whole.
Yeah. It's crazy how Tiger had a huge comeback.
Speaking of comebacks, I got a crazy story that's giving me like Jurassic Park vibes.
Jurassic Park is coming back in real life?
Yeah, pretty much, man. And it's also got this like crazy conspiracy theory that I'll get into. But for start, let me just explain what's happening. So a couple weeks ago, a company called Colossal announced that they're doing a de-extinction project for an animal called the Thylacine, also known as the Tasmanian tiger in Australia. Basically what they're saying is that they're going to bring this extinct animal back to life.
De-extinct is like a powerful verb.
Yeah.
I'm going to
de-extinct.
Like, first of all, to extinct something
is
as
already
a verb.
Yeah.
Like that's like violent. Like I'm going to extinct you.
Because extinct implies that you're killing every member of this species.
Yeah. Like I'm killing your family and they will not be able to do anything about it. Like that's savage.
Yeah. I'm going to extinct, it's savage.
And now to like de-extinct something
is like powerful.
That's just like, it sounds ludicrous.
It does. And it's something that they've patented, this company. And I'll get into some of the history here, but let me start by telling you guys about the Thylacine because I just learned about this animal today. So this is an Australian marsupial. And people.
What is a marsupial?
It's like a group of mammals.
Okay.
In like Australia, Asia. Examples would be like the kangaroos, koalas, wombats, animals like that. A lot of them have pouches. That's like a trait of them. And the thing about this marsupial is that people, it's an apex predator, kind of like hyenas too.
Okay.
It behaves kind of like a cat, a dog, and a horse combined. It's got like a really unique, and then it's got these like black stripes, which is why they call it the Tasmanian tiger. It's a very unique cry sound. And about 100 years ago, the government and the people there basically extinct. They made the species extinct by hunting it till it was gone.
Yeah, sad.
And since then, the impacts on the ecosystem have been horrible. Without an apex predator, like the Thylacine, the ecosystem has crumbled. The herbivores that are there are not being hunted the way they're supposed to be, and this has had like a domino effect on all of the vegetation that's there as well.
Mm-hmm.
This company claims that they can actually de-extinct this animal and hopefully work with environmentalists to restore kind of like a equilibrium in this ecosystem.
Yeah.
Where it starts to get sketchy, and this is the conspiracy theory that I've created. Okay. Doing research on the Thylacine, I've discovered that there's this huge group of people in Australia that believe it's still there. Oh. Yeah, they actually have a group called the Thylacine Awareness Group of Australia, the TAGAOA, which has
Tagawa.
Tagawa. Yeah.
You should shrimp on the bar. We go to Tagawa. Like it just sounds like something an Australian would make.
I love your Australian accent.
Tagawa. Do you know what an Australian says when they need to pack up their food at a restaurant?
No.
Can I get that Tagawa?
Tagawa.
Can I get that Tagawa?
And the Tagawa group has 10,000 members across Australia.
Wait, 10,000 people
are like in this group.
Well, I guess that's
Facebook
not too
group.
weird.
I mean, it's pretty weird. It's like a specific extinct animal.
But I mean, like you got Bigfoot.
Bigfoot is literally mythical. Can you name one like actual animal that's extinct right now that you like actually care about?
No, but I do care a lot about the ones that are close to extinct.
Yes, but what I'm saying is like there aren't these huge groups for other animals.
Yeah.
There's a crazy fan base for this Thylacine. And where it gets even more weird is there's been a ton of sightings in recent years. So here's my theory. Okay. This company, Colossal, earlier last year, September, they announced they were going to de-extinct another animal, the woolly mammoth.
Oh.
And they were going to do this by using gene editing with elephants and basically like splicing in using CRISPR DNA from the mammoth into an elephant and, yes, bring back the woolly mammoth. And that's where I'm getting these like Jurassic Park vibes, because like, what are they gonna do with this woolly mammoth? They're probably gonna build like a little like amusement park where you can go like visit it.
Yeah, that's the only sane thing you can do.
Like, you spend billions of dollars making a fucking mammoth, like where you can put it in the wild and just say bye. Like, I hope you enjoy your existence. Like, there has to be a capital incentive here.
That woolly mammoth is probably gonna it's gonna wait ages for its ice age. You know what I mean? It's probably gonna be like, what the hell? This shit ain't cold.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they want to bring it back to the tundra, and it would do totally fine today, I guess, is the thought process. But the theory that I've got, and this is just from my own research on the thylacine and seeing these groups and all these recent sightings caught on video, is what if they weren't able to de-extinct the woolly mammoth? What if they're not making good progress, and they've got all this investor money, it's venture backed, they raise a ton of cash, and they're like, shit, we need to like show evidence, or people are going to start wondering what the hell we're doing. So they heard about the thylacine, and this one guy, okay, his name is Neil Waters. He's a retired gardener, and he's committed his life savings to this epic 2-year search for this animal. But he's working solo. He's like it's a rickety shack that he's working in. He's got his stool samples in the same fridge as his frozen meals. This is like a one-man show. And he's making
his stool samples?
No, the animal stool samples.
I was going to say, could you imagine? It's like he just puts that shit on his flatbreads or whatever.
So, yeah. So
he turns into that animal.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that that they were like, yo, maybe this guy's onto something. They talked to him. They maybe sent their own crew, and they went and found a real thylacine in the wild, and now they're going to try to claim that they made it.
Do you know what would be funnier? If like they did like a grand reveal, like here is what is it called?
Thylacine.
Here is the thylacine, and it's like some dude in like the space,
like the Tesla bot.
It just like walks out,
crawling on the stage in a bodysuit with spandex and fur. The thing is, like, they're gonna find a fully grown thylacine. They're gonna have to make it mate with another thylacine, and then take the baby, and then claim that they made the baby.
Give it to that guy who's storing the stool samples. I think he needs a mate.
He needs to get a new job and move on with his life. So I think he'd be really happy if it gets de-extinct. But that's my conspiracy theory. It's like,
it's an interesting conspiracy.
Like, why give up? Why, you were doing the woolly mammoth, you made no progress, and now you're gonna like de-extinct this animal that people are saying they're seeing in Australia. Like,
what's it look like?
Like thylacine?
Yeah,
it looks like a fox.
Yeah,
that's
there's
a bit
picture
bigger
on that link, the very top link there, Storm, if you want to have a look.
It looks like a fox, but it's got like this these like black tiger stripes on it.
Yeah, it's like a wolf mixed with a fox and a cheetah all together. Yeah. It's like mostly like a wolf in its head, the body of a wolf too, but the stripes of a cheetah.
Probably should just capture like a coyote then and just put stripes on it.
Yeah, true. You could literally take a coyote and just like trim its ears and
paint it.
Man, those types of people who still believe that this thing exists are just insane. Have you ever seen? So obviously the one that's crazy, I think, is Bigfoot. Everyone thinks Bigfoot exists, and people are still trying to find Bigfoot to this day. But you know that the most iconic video of Bigfoot walking, the sighting in the 1960 video where they had a camera like this?
Yeah.
Well, someone on Reddit stabilized that whole entire footage so that you can watch it in like not the shaky format, and it's so obviously a dude in a costume. Like it's actually laughable.
Well, I mean, that's like all the Bigfoot content, right? It's all just like people are trying to go viral with it. Bigfoot's not real.
I know, but it's like funny because that like most people go back to that
that clip.
That's like the most canon of it all. Like if you're like, I need to go and figure out what Bigfoot's all about, that's where they usually check out. Here, I'll send it in the Slack group if you guys are interested in having a look here, just as a quick aside.
So Lee's actually in the camp that these Tasmanian tigers do exist and that they're going to use them for this conspiracy theory to prove that their methods are working, right? So.
Yeah, they're faking it till they make it, I think. But here's another thought too, is like, if they are legit, how fucking cool is this that they're able to bring animals back to life. Like we're living in Jurassic Park. This is like a sci-fi movie.
I think that's incredible. I think it's also would be cool too, because then it could also help us like, you know, stop the extinction of animals that are like orangutans right now. I was reading about them. They're close to being extinct as well.
So, oh really?
Yeah.
Damn, orangutans? That's sad.
They're the smartest primate that there is.
That's sad. They're going extinct.
They're the goats.
Should get a pet orangutan at the office.
Yeah.
What animals would you guys like to see come back?
What animals would you like to see extinct?
Fucking flies, yeah. Mosquitoes, hornets.
Yeah. Sorry, what were we gonna ask?
What animals would you guys bring back? Like if this is real, like there's a lot of pretty cool animals. Like for me, it'd be like the saber-toothed cat. Right?
Oh yeah,
that'd be epic.
That is cool, but like that's too scary.
Well, like if it was like in a zoo kind of situation, like you know.
Oh, you want to bring it back just so it can live in captivity?
Yeah.
Yeah. Woolly mammoth, probably. Like those things are just so big. I was on my way home from London the other night. I was just thinking, like with the windmills, or it was the clouds up in the air. They're moving fast, and I was just thinking, the clouds are the closest things we have to giants. You know, and I'm just thinking.
Were you high when you thought about this?
No.
Other than Vitalik. Yeah.
But I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool if we had like gigantic freaking? So dinosaurs would be kind of cool.
So dinosaurs are, I guess, an extinct animal. Like animal?
Dodo bird.
Dodo bird. That's
a dodo bird.
So there's actually a list of like the coolest extinct animals, and woolly mammoth is on it, and so is this Thylacine, this Tasmanian tiger. So people really like this animal.
Yeah.
The dodo bird's also on there. What is it? What's up with the dodo bird? Like, why do people care about this dodo bird?
He just looks goofy.
Yeah, he's goofy.
I like goofy things.
Yeah. It's kind of sad. Like, if you're ugly, you'll be hunted and killed. And that's what the dodo bird proved.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool animals, and I think specifically because they're cool. Like even this West African black rhinoceros, right? Like everyone wants those like rhino tusks.
Yeah. And
they get axed. So anyway, I would probably bring back the saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah.
Lewis, you said the dodo bird, or is that Storm?
No, that was Storm. I would bring back the woolly mammoth.
The woolly mammoth.
So make sure everyone. Oh, and what you would say?
I was just gonna say, and what are we gonna? Should we bring back this podcast right now, rewind style?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say, make sure you guys pay attention to what's becoming extinct. Donate to your local charities because silverback gorillas, orangutans.
Here's a fun fact. Actually, this is actually not a fun fact. They say 50%. This is a sad fact. Estimates say that 50% of all species will be extinct by 2050.
Yeah, that's sad. I'm gonna cry when like every single primate, like they were us, we were them.
Yeah,
they were like, you know.
And one day we'll go extinct too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are humans on that list?
Humans are definitely on
of the 50%.
Oh, not by 2050.
No, but
we're gonna exterminate everything else, and then we'll be the only thing left, and then we'll die.
Well, you might change your mind after this rewind, Lee.
What do you got for us, Lewis?
September 2nd, 1945. Japan surrenders, bringing an end to World War II. The Allies won World War II, Lee. How does that make you feel?
Thankful. Blessed.
Thank God.
DJ Khaled style. Blessed.
So this comes after a month after dropping 2 of the largest bombs ever used in an attack in mankind. This officially brought an end to World War II. But how has nuclear warfare continued to intrude our lives to this day? So that's the rewind today. Let's just talk about the 2 bombs for a second. They were some of the most deadliest bombs to ever be dropped. The atomic bomb. Oh man, just absolutely devastating across all of that. So
it's kind of a sad day, but also like obviously it was a huge part of the war, and definitely a turning point.
I mean, at this point, the Nazis were already defeated. It was just Japan on their 2 legs at this point. So they were about to get murked. So,
was it necessary?
Was it necessary? I mean, here's the thing. Was 1 necessary? Maybe not. Was 2 necessary?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
You know what's crazy about that whole situation is that a lot of people forget that Japan was part of that, the Axis. Mm-hmm. And so was Italy.
Yeah.
Right?
Mussolini. Yeah.
Right?
Hung with his mistress. You see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wait, he got hung by his people?
I don't know by his people, but it was him like it might have been a military coup or something like that.
Okay.
But it was like he was hung with his mistress. Yeah.
Damn. But you know what? Today, if there was a axis, what countries would you put in the axis?
Well, right now it's basically like a China, North Korea, and Russia type of vibe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. That's the vibe I'm getting. China's like the Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
And then Russia's kind of like, crazy dictator Mussolini. It's like kind of like Italy. And then North Korea's like in that.
I mean, all of them are crazy dictators.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, I would say North Korea probably has the most eccentric. Like, if you look at all three of them, North Korea is like that is like a dictatorship too.
Yeah.
Like they're not even trying to hide it at that point.
Yeah, it's a joke. He's a joke. I don't even know how that works over there. But yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is like, and obviously there's a war happening today. Like, do you guys see that turning into something like this? Like,
I think so. Well, here's the funny thing, and of course this is obviously very political, right? But we have the war in Ukraine happening, and obviously, the United States or every single country has gotten involved, mostly on Ukraine's side.
oh yeah,
Right? Which really just shows like that's already straining our relationship with Russia, which was already pretty poor, obviously, to begin with. And then also recently with Taiwan. I know, was it Nancy Pelosi who just recently went over there,
she
right?
did. Yeah.
And so like that obviously caused a lot of controversy. So there's lots of I think the
Geopolitical shit happening.
Yeah,
right
there's
now.
tensions are coming back.
Yeah.
I thought we were chill for a bit.
We hadn't been in this space for a while. Like when we were growing up, there was all the wars in the Middle East, but they were so removed from us.
It was like,
terrorism. There wasn't another country that was the opponent. It was like terrorism.
The terrorists, yeah. There was I did see, it's like funny because after the 1945, we had many, many years between Russia and the United States when it came to the Cold War, Cuban Missile Crisis, and this was essentially the thought that the world was going to end at any moment because of a nuclear bomb attack, right? If one person blows up a nuclear bomb elsewhere, like the whole world's done, right? Everyone shoots their nukes. And then after kind of like the USSR, like the Russia communism officially went away, it kind of went on pause for a bit. According to this right here, stats, there's close to almost 13,000 nuclear warheads worldwide as of January 2022. And almost 90% of them belong to two countries. Can you guess which one those are?
Yeah. Russia and the United States. It's crazy that they admit, you know what? They kind of represent both sides.
Yeah.
Imagine they were both on the same side.
Yeah.
That would be scary if you're
Scary.
not on their team. Like, do they have, it's like having like LeBron and Steph Curry on the same team, you know? Like, I don't want to play against them.
No, hell no. But very interesting. That is the rewind today, Lee. It's just funny how technology, basically not a consumer product or healthcare product that we always seem to talk about, but instead a weapon of mass destruction.
Speaking of weapons of mass destruction, have you seen the story about NFTs and big brands? Something I really thought was interesting is just like how I didn't even realize that all these brands have embraced NFT technology. And I think that's part of the problem. Like the fact that a male 26-year-old Canadian doesn't know that Budweiser and Bud Light and Lacoste and Pepsi have NFT projects is probably a bad sign that they're not doing too well.
No.
And here's the numbers. So a number of companies, Nike, Dolce & Gabbana, Tiffany & Company, Gucci, Adidas, Budweiser, Time Magazine, Bud Light, a bunch of them have done NFT projects. Pepsi, it says $0. I don't even know. Like, how does that even make any sense?
They did free ones.
Oh, they did free ones. Okay, so they didn't make any money off of their off of their NFTs. Now, Nike, of all of them, is actually crushing it, and they've done 185.3 million
Wow.
of their NFT projects.
That's like almost all of them put together combined times 2.
Literally.
Or maybe even more.
Yeah, and I want to assume, I have some assumptions as to why. I think, Dolce, Tiffany, Gucci, those are the ones that follow after Nike. So what we can see is fashion is clearly like dominating the space.
Yeah.
But I think their customers are just a little bit too high end to buy into
The NFT.
the crypto cyberpunky space that is what Nike's been doing. So Nike's not at all high fashion, but they're like kind of becoming like that premium luxury,
very, very much so,
in the lower tier, right? And they've been that way. Like some Nike shoes sell for tons and tons of money on the secondary market.
StockX, yeah.
So the fact that they've done so well makes sense, but what I'm confused by is like, why are there no close seconds?
I'm wondering about Adidas, because I know they had a collaboration with the Bored Apes.
10 million to Nike's 185.
Yeah, literally 18 times less.
So Nike bought an existing brand in the space already, Artifact. We covered it a couple episodes ago with the VR hoodies.
Smart.
So that's kind of their way of. It was a different approach than everyone else, right? Everyone was trying to build utility pretty much from scratch.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Nike bought an existing player.
I wonder how much they bought them for, because it says that they had done 70 million in total sales volume.
That's really crazy. I 100% agree with you there, Lee. Yeah, like Dolce, Gabbana, Tiffany, and Gucci, like
their customers aren't buying NFTs yet.
Yeah, they're like
old money.
They're old money vibes, right? Yeah, like you get it for that vibe. You're 100% right. Nike is like the premium cyberpunk option, right? I feel like a bunch of people who dress with Nikes on their feet, like the premium Nikes, they would buy an NFT. But that's why I'm surprised that Adidas is not there either. Like even like close. So
there's something about Nike's brand too. I think I wonder how much we can credit to Back to the Future, because like in that movie, the lead character Marty McFly, right?
Yeah, he
moves far into the future, and one of the big brands that they show is the like self-lacing shoes from Nike. And there's something about that when we think about like fashion in the future, that still connects because of that iconic moment. And I think people are thinking about the metaverse and being on their like hoverboard wearing Nikes in the metaverse, and and I think some of these like Artifact did that collaboration with that Nike sweater, right? It was like an NFT clothing. So I don't know. I feel like Nike's like the perfect brand to just like do really well in this space. I think it's weird that others haven't been successful. Why do you think like brands in general are just not doing? Do you think it's not even because of the old money stuff? Like, even though those brands are like old money, there's tons of like big consumer brands. Like, where's like Sony?
Yeah.
And like all the gaming brands. Like, where's Fortnite? And like, are they included in this list or?
I think with this brand is specifically talking about like consumer goods almost outside of gaming, because with gaming, like with Fortnite, I think they're trying to like create the NFT experience or like the digital certification within their platform. Yeah. While here they're like taking advantage of what's already existing, and this also like all of this is somewhat identity based as well. So I don't know, man, but I really do think it's beyond insane. Like I can't even believe Nike's that far ahead.
Yeah, they got a huge head start, and obviously making that acquisition definitely bumps their numbers, but I still think they're going to be the winners.
Yeah.
Why do you think that overall that all the companies are just not winning? Do you think it's partially because the crypto space wants a new era of brands and like doesn't want to bring these old legacy brands into this space, and doesn't like when I was talking to Storm, I was like, yo, these numbers are like lower than Nelk's numbers, some of them.
Yeah.
Like Nelk did better than Lacoste with the full send stuff.
Yeah, they said at the bottom here, it says if it's not 10 million, then it's not in the top 400 NFT projects. So like people that are beating like Budweiser, for example, are things like Toy Boogers, Pixel Pets, a couple of ridiculous sounding NFT projects. So how are they able to muster up more money than the big boys, right?
How is Toy Boogers doing better than Budweiser and Time and Lacoste, right?
I think it literally is like just down to what crypto comes down to as a whole. Like crypto is like ultra libertarian, like, and it's like funny because there's like a mix of like ultra consumerism, ultra capitalism mixed with like anti-capitalism and anti-consumerism. So what ends up happening is that you have brands like Full Send or the Gary V Club, where people feel like more of a genuine connection there, while you almost have these brands like Budweiser, Lacoste, McLaren, whatever. They're almost like, the cool kid, I got my skateboard kids. I'm cool. I got NFTs, and it just kind of comes off as cringe a lot of times.
Yeah. And part of that might be just their disconnect from the culture. Mm-hmm. Like I think you mentioned like Booger. What was that? Toy Boogers, Pixel Pets.
Yeah.
Like there's no way that these brands don't have so much trust and the money to like do a good project. I just don't know if they get it well enough. There's probably a big market for like consultants that are in the space to like work with these brands, because if there's this much money, like you said, there's the top 400 projects. What was the number?
Are all 10 million plus.
That's a ton of money.
Yeah.
So if there's that much money in the space, why wouldn't these like brands like Adidas and whatnot come in and just crush it?
Do you think
Yeah.
it's because they're trying to keep they're doing the NFT thing to say that they did it, but at the same time, like there's too many people that don't like NFTs and the global or the greenhouse effect right now and things like that. So it's too early for
There's
them.
definitely
Might be too early, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to be important in the next 10 years for brands to get it right. So how you like what your Web3 play is and how you become part of that Web3 culture. Because like Web3 culture right now is like kind of fringe, but it will just become like Web2 has become, and it just become like social media, right? And if it does, how they move forward and what decisions they make will significantly impact their success. So I think they need to hire like consultants, like to help them do it right,
And
do
we
good
have
projects.
seen like Adidas has partnered with the Bored Apes to do a collab as well. So I do think that there is a lot to come out of this. It just might be really early, right? And then Nike made the best. I mean, I just think Nike has like maybe the strongest brand period, let alone in clothes, right? So
Literally.
so I think that no matter what, whenever they do something, they're going to be able to 10x their return on it, just like they did here.
If you're an established brand, why would you risk it for a project that could flop and go to zero and be a PR nightmare when it's not going to do much for your bottom line to add another 5 to 10 million?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So lots to talk about, Lee. Lots to talk about in the future.
But like one of the biggest ones, like the biggest NFT projects that I've seen, like from like a rogue group that already had a brand. Now they aren't a big legacy brand. They're on YouTube. And they have a podcast, right? So I don't know how full sense, NFT project's still doing, but obviously, Nike has a huge global legacy brand, but these YouTube brands are still really powerful too.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a great place to put your podcast on too.
Yeah,
Which
our podcast is on YouTube.
Our podcast is on YouTube. Make sure you're watching. And if you're in the United States, you might be able to see this on your homepage.
What do you mean on the homepage?
YouTube is getting into podcasting and might crush Spotify.
What do you mean How?
YouTube's new podcast homepage is live in the US. Will it become top podcasting platform? So YouTube now has a homepage for podcasts that was soft launched in the US. YouTube is trying to capitalize on the podcast game. So this is actually a lot of things that has happened. This is the kind of almost the final nail on the coffin. So last year they hired a podcast executive named Kai Chuck in 2021. He's the executive of podcasting over at YouTube. They've offered podcasters and networks $50K to $300K to create videos. So they're offering exclusive brand deals or distributing.
Wait,
deals.
are they trying to take like existing audio podcasts and get them to start doing video podcasts?
Yeah. So.
Oh wow, where's our check? YouTube.
Yeah. Yves, I need you to go overtime on those YouTube comments. Discussed audio ads and new analytics for audio-centric creators and a leaked document. And they've also partnered with NPR to bring on 20 plus of its most popular shows. And that's huge. NPR has like arguably some of the biggest podcasts known to man. So, and Lee, I thought this was a really interesting thing. So, I mean, first of all, let's get some first insights. YouTube is arguably where people go to listen to podcasts.
I listen to all my podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
Seriously. I like seeing, even if I'm not like, I'm in the kitchen doing meal prep or I'm doing chores outside, I will literally play the YouTube video because
you want to maybe come back to the moments and see them talk. Yeah.
Well, sometimes they bring up stuff and then you need a visual aid. And then
Just like we do.
Yeah. Like we literally.
For those watching.
Yeah. It's always, honestly, the Fast Forward podcast is better experienced on video.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time we're talking, you don't need to see anything, but then we'll say something and you'll want to see the picture that we're referencing, and then video makes sense.
We're all just handsome though.
Yeah, that's also part of it too.
Very true. I also just think too, if like how unusual. Imagine if like you were listening to a conversation or you were part of a conversation, but like I was under the table while you guys were talking.
Yo, that's a crazy mind trip right there.
You think that'd be weird? You'd be like, why can I not see these people while I talk to them, or like, because again, like I'm not looking at Storm right now while I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to both you guys, and vice versa with Lee. But you still feel like you're part of the conversation.
I get what you're saying. It's almost like when you're conversing with people, like you're with your blindfold on.
Yeah,
it's weird. And I think one of the things that I noticed about podcast growth during the pandemic, when people were feeling really lonely, they stopped listening to music, because you listen to music when you're with people at a party, at a club,
or to
whatever.
Like, get away from the socializing.
Yeah. But podcasts became a thing people really liked during the pandemic because they were socially deprived, and the feeling of loneliness went away when they listened to the podcast. And this is something I can definitely say is I'm extremely extroverted. I don't like being alone, and when I am, I put a podcast on and I do my chores or cook or whatever, and it does kind of like keep me company. And I think seeing their faces is important. I think if I listen to an audio only podcast, I still get that feeling.
The immersion's a bit gone.
Yeah, the loneliness kind of sets in. So I like I listen to All In and My First Million, and I always watch the video when I listen. It's
just nice to be able to like for example, if you're doing your laundry or you're cooking some food, to be able to like maybe hear them laugh, you like go back to the video real quick and like watch them laugh, or like it does add that extra level.
So I think YouTube, and I don't know what the stats are, like is YouTube bigger than Spotify? Is it the same size? Are they smaller? Like where do listeners listen to podcasts?
So this actually tripped me the hell out. So though competitors including Spotify, Apple, and Amazon have made big moves in the space, a Cumulus Media analysis found YouTube is America's most popular podcasting platform already, capturing 24.2% of listeners compared to Spotify's 23.8% and Apple's 16%. So first of all, I already tripped that Spotify was more than Apple. Second of all, YouTube, basically YouTube's just capturing a market that they already had.
And they're not even trying with podcasts, and they're winning. So I'm just like surprised, like when they start trying, how big is that going to be? Yeah. And I think podcast has become like the biggest long form content period.
Yeah.
Like it's the more people are spending more time on podcast content than just about anything else. Like in a week, how many movies do you watch?
For me personally, not much. Many people would probably say 1 or 2 a week, though.
One, yeah, I do one, maybe 2 if I do a movie night with my kids on the weekends every time. But during the week, I listen to 3 or 4 or 5 podcast episodes that are each an hour to an hour and a half to 2. Joe Rogan's episodes, like his Mark Zuckerberg episode, was 3 hours.
Yeah, sometimes they're like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
they're nuts.
So I'm giving more time to. And I think that's what YouTube wants. YouTube wants you to spend as much time as possible on the platform. So the fact that they're winning without really having like a podcast experience on there, I mean, what would be awesome? Because if you use YouTube, you can close the app and the podcast keeps playing.
Yeah,
that's like an issue right now.
You can do that.
With
that's
premium.
where the premium comes in.
Yeah.
And actually, that's probably where I you know what? Maybe this is where we need to capitalize ASAP, because the way that YouTube money distribution works, it shows you how much money is from like ads versus like your split from the YouTube premium, right? Like people own YouTube premium, but like if people are getting on YouTube to listen to podcasts, well, you're going to need that subscription. Like you're not just going to leave your phone on the entire time.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll make it podcast pages. You can actually leave the app so that they can compete.
That's what I'm thinking too, because that would make it similar to Spotify. Because like Spotify, you can do video podcasts sometimes if they have it. I think it's like Joe Rogan and maybe a couple others. And I can like watch the video, but then put my phone away and listen. So I like that about Spotify.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think YouTube's set up to be champ here. I don't see the other platforms beating them.
With the video content, it brings your eyes to the screen. And when your eyes are on the screen, that's how you're able to discover new podcasts. I feel like the other podcasts like Apple, Spotify, like I don't find new podcasts as much just because you're not looking at the screen as much, just because you're tuned into your one.
It's also too the way the system, the culture works with YouTube is that like the point is that you have to get people into your video, right? Ow.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, I'll go. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. But the thing is because like with YouTube's culture of like bringing people in with the thumbnail, with the title, etc. That's how I find a lot of new YouTubers already. But on Spotify, like you're saying, I don't have that experience. I only see like their corporate thumbnail, and then it'll be like, you know, meditation talks with Sam or with Johnny or whatever it is, right? And it's like it's not engaging enough to
the discovery is not good.
No, and podcasts have horrible discovery. So I think that might fix that.
It's a good point. And I think YouTube as a platform as a podcaster. So yeah, let's podcast. I think we all agree work well on YouTube. but does YouTube work well for podcasters? I think it does. I think some of the biggest podcasts have grown their fan bases on YouTube. Joe Rogan, Logan Paul, the Nelk Boys. But then also, it allows them to get a strong community that they can transition into other forms of content, into other platforms. Like, YouTube is the best place to be a content creator. If you want to make money, there's so many ways to do it. It's such a good platform. It's been around for so long. So podcasters are going to flood towards it. I don't even know why they're handing out checks.
No. And it's funny too, because Spotify, the CEO eventually he's going to be the one crying on LinkedIn.
Well, this one I think you're telling. So like in today's episode, we have what's called a LinkedIn viral generator. And I don't know what that means, Storm. What does that mean?
Yeah, we're going to play a little game. It's a viral post generator. So in the website, you guys can open it up while I'm explaining it. You can say what you did today, what you want the inspirational advice to be, and then there's a cringe level from low to high. And you can set it from if you want pretty tame or if you want something super high cringe, like classic LinkedIn meme.
I have one right now. Okay.
Sure. What did you type in?
So sorry, Storm. Do you want to finish what you were saying?
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah. What did you do today?
So there's two fields. Yeah, like you said there. One's what did you do today? I said I started a new podcast. Inspirational advice. Never stop until you succeed. Okay. That's gonna be mine, and I'm gonna put the cringe level all the way up to high.
You have to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna see. So it's generating my post now, and I'm gonna read it to you in my inspirational voice.
Let's hear it.
This is advice if you want to start a podcast. If you want to start here on 1 second, I'm going to do this for the content. If you want to start a podcast, you have to do this. Around 15 years ago, I asked my manager if I could start a new podcast. She replied, "No, you're not ready yet to start anything at all." I have been blessed to have some incredible managers throughout my wonderful career, but this time, she was definitely wrong. I immediately told her, "I wish you knew to never stop until you succeed." And then I quit my job right at that moment. Before I left the office for good, I had to do one last thing. I started a new podcast right in front of my ex-manager. Oh yeah, it felt great. 292 reactions, 10,000 comments. God, that was good.
I did it twice, and I'm like, I feel like it's like a template that they're applying it to. There's like randomized, and then they insert your information. So I'm starting a new company, and for inspirational advice, I put life has ups and downs, but it's worth it. And then it wrote experience is overrated, crying face, like actually like crying, not crying, laughing. The biggest advantage of hiring me without a single day of experience is that I can start a new company, which doesn't make any sense. Oh, future boss, I will start a new company every work day if I have to. That's dedication. You know what I think this is like an employee-centric thing. I'm from that rare kind of people that tell themselves life has ups and downs, but it's worth it in front of the mirror each morning. And that's what you're looking for. Am I hired? ? So I think this would be hilarious if you're an employee somewhere and it's like is this AI written, or do you think it's just like a template?
It says use AI to write the perfect line.
That's so funny.
All right, mine is what did I do today? I de-extinct the woolly mammoth.
Nice.
My inspirational advice is anything is possible. So mine says, "Dear LinkedIn, nobody cares about your inspirational BS. Phrases like anything is possible are overrated. Instead, share updates about that time you de-extincted the woolly mammoth. It's way more interesting. Sincerely, the majority of LinkedIn users. P.S. I did, in fact, de-extinct the woolly mammoth today. #influencer, #agree ?
I got one more, and I'm not going to tell you what I did.
What's the cringe meter on this one?
This is all-time high as well.
Nice.
We got to.
Yeah.
Can't do
All
anything
right, you
soft.
guys ready?
Yeah.
I took a picture of Vitalik today. Want to learn how? Here's a simple guide. Heat oven to 180 degrees Celsius. 2. Use a whisk to beat the butter and sugar together.
Ooh.
3. Shout out loud. Erect Ethereum to the moon. 4. Add lemon zest, vanilla, flour, milk, and a pinch of salt. 5. Just take a picture of Vitalik. Hope it helps. #LinkedIn, #influencer.
Damn, Lewis, you sound like a narrator when you do that.
Yeah.
Should I pull up your IMDb or something? Like, you got some Film credits or what?
Oh, that's hilariously. And it's funny that you bring that up so randomly, actually, now that I think about it, because this is a weird story, okay? Shout out to Storm for finding this one. But, Lee, Google's knowledge panel, how often do you use it? Almost all the time.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost everything. This person tricked Google.
How does this guy trick a company as big as Google?
This person almost took down Google. Not actually, but all right. So Google is constantly being tricked. Google's knowledge panel is going to be improving to stop people from gaming it. So people are gaming the Google knowledge panel. Like they're using it to their advantage, but in like super weird ways. People try and game it so hard that this Twitter user went down a rabbit hole to uncover this one guy who went to many different websites to game Google. So first, he put his name at the top cast for an Indian drama film on IMDb. So he went on to like this Indian drama film and he like put himself as a top cast.
But like, is he actually?
No, he's not in
movie?
it. He's like in a bunch of these Indian drama films, but he's actually not. He just set himself up an IMDb profile so that they can put it up there.
Wait, so just any Joe Schmo can make an IMDb profile and then add themselves to movies?
I'm pretty sure it's like a Wikipedia-based thing, right?
So somebody has to like actually remove him.
And I think it's like, I'm not entirely sure, but I think, because you know how on Wikipedia there's like hot articles that like heavy moderators have to kind of make sure that they're really.
Is this guy finding like low-hanging fruit that have no moderation and
That's why I'm assuming.
sneaking himself on there?
There's
Yeah.
websites set up so that you can put your credits in there, and that's the link that verifies it to IMDb. So there's actual whole sites that are set up just for like.
So you even have
Yeah.
the source. So the moderator's like, oh, he guess he's in it because he's.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless they want to watch this Indian film.
Yeah, which they would have to do that for everything, right?
Yeah.
So, so this is so that you can Google his name and then have his Google knowledge panel base pop up at the side. So, you know, if you search up John Lennon or like, I don't know, Joe Biden or something like that, it'll have him at the right side panel with all of like the links that you can click on.
Social media, his Wikipedia page.
Yeah. So this is what he did. He had it pop up at the side where it also shows his YouTube channels, Instagram, and Facebook pages. He was trying to promote music.
So this guy just like instantly clouded himself.
Yeah, he literally gave himself clout. This guy also had pages made for him on these sketchy websites to help boost his ranking and to trick the Google search engine as well. And similar to what Storm was saying, to help verify some of the big ones like IMDb. So a very interesting story. If you go to the very bottom there, Lee, and just click on that Twitter thread, the guy has the like pictures of the guy who's done it, and it is pretty funny.
Dude, his pictures suck, man. They're not flattering. He looks hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It's got like his closet open in the background with like just like shit everywhere.
Literally, it's a mess in his picture.
It's just like bad too, because it's like think if you were like a top cast star, like
You can't be cross-eyed in Hollywood.
No,
I'll just say it out loud.
No, yeah, you.
This guy.
What about in Bollywood?
I grew up watching Bollywood movies, and there was only a couple of cast members that could maybe get away with that shit.
I'm just saying, the thing is, he literally, like, I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I give props to the guy. That's pretty impressive for him doing this. I'm just also shocked that the moderators looked at that picture, because some of these top casted people, like if you look on that picture right there, top cast, you have 3 stars that
Like some good looking folks.
yeah, and like good looking pictures as well, like pictures that
Let's just call a spade a spade. Like these are all 10s, you know?
yeah, and then there's this guy right here that literally looks like he took a selfie after he woke up. So.
He's a dorky dude, and he's found his way up to the top of these IMDb pages, which ultimately have had him land on Google and have his own. He's like super clever. So now he probably says in his Tinder bio, probably says Google me.
Yeah, literally. He probably just has his Google knowledge base there.
Yeah, a screenshot of his Google knowledge base.
Honestly, like that's enough to clap. But I just think it's hilariously how no matter how many years of experience these algorithms have on us, people are still finding a way to reverse engineer them.
How does one come up with this idea, you know?
There's actually a funny story one time. So, you know how Genius, you know Genius, like the music lyric site?
Yep.
Well, for so long, they wanted Google to stop scraping their data so that when you searched up, like, you know, Humble by Kendrick Lamar lyrics, it would stop putting them in the knowledge base because it was grabbing it from Genius and then putting it there. Google would say like, nope, no, it's not whatsoever. And then what Genius did is that they made they went to their database and they turned all of the lyrics that have quotation marks into like backticks instead, so that it looks completely the same, but Google was scraping it and that's how they got caught. Google got caught lying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Google
even
got
police.
caught lying. They fucking
using
finessed
Genius
them.
lyrics. Yeah.
That was a genius strategy from Genius.
Yeah, seriously.
Do you guys want to hear a song by this guy?
Yeah,
Oh.
I see that a couple of the songs are just like he went on Audacity and chopped a couple of songs together, eh?
I don't know what he did, but I just found this on his YouTube channel.
Let's see.
I don't know if this is like his song or it's called
I can't hear nothing.
I haven't played it yet. It's called Axkane, and it's by Subhankar Bagchi. All right, let's give it a listen. Got a nice sample at the beginning. What do you guys think? Is it gonna be rap or what? Oh shit, this shit bangs, dude.
This is literally what song is it though? It's like a British rapper song.
Oh.
It's literally his beat.
Oh, so he
That's
stole
what
this?
that's what the Twitter thread says.
Yeah,
He just
that
went on
literally sounds
Audacity.
Is that him talking?
So
in
like,
the background?
what was the point of him? What was the point of him scamming Google to just put up other people's beats on YouTube?
Because it was probably him trying to do it and then him chopping up and claiming it's sampled. All right.
So Lee, you were thinking about potentially doing this strategy and seeing if it works, maybe
well,
making some content.
So
from
I
it?
actually have a genuine IMDb credit because I was in a movie.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm thinking IMDb my shit. I also have great SEO for my name, and then I can clout myself. Type in my name. I have a knowledge panel. How many IMDb listings do you need to have a knowledge panel?
I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming. I don't know.
Probably a few. Oh wait, no, look at that. So my friend Eden, she has she's like in a bunch of TV
Yeah.
and movies and stuff. I think she's like in Handmaid's Tale on Netflix, and she was just in like a
Oh, that's awesome. Good for her.
she's in a show. Or
She does have a knowledge panel.
She's I googled her. She's a knowledge panel, so she only has maybe like 10 credits or something. But I guess that means like
She was in the Handmaid's Tale?
yeah, she's in the show. A couple other shows too.
She's not credited for it.
Okay, she might have been like an extra in that movie, in that show, but she was in another show that was
She
like
was in a star in a Hallmark Christmas movie last year or the year
Yep.
before, Mistletoe and Molly.
Mistletoe Money. Yeah,
And then Working Moms. Sits
that's
in
it. That's
show.
the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. So I just googled her, and she has a knowledge panel. So maybe, it's possible for me to get one. I only have one movie credit, but yep. I just looked up Dylan. Her little brother Dylan doesn't have a knowledge panel, but he has an IMDb. So, and he's got like 4 credits. So it doesn't look like you can just get it. You need a certain volume.
We'll try and get it for you. We're gonna
I think
get
you should chop it up and that be your content of how you've actually pulled this off, start to finish.
True. How I got my own Google knowledge panel. Maybe you have to use these sketchy websites to put myself on some Bollywood films.
Yeah.
It would make sense. But then, like,
More realistic
can
than
you
the other
get
guy.
rid of it though?
Oh,
It's
I
like,
don't know.
you know what I mean? Like, once you go into the Google scamming, like, it's on your record forever.
Yeah,
True.
maybe not. Maybe I'll just wait till I earn my own. The Fast Forward podcast is going to get us a knowledge
Let's
panel.
do it. Let's freaking do it.
All right, what do we got for snips this week, Storm?
Yeah, let's do some snips. Also, we missed an opportunity last week because we did Snapchat in the snips and we didn't do snip, snap. So
Dang.
sorry, Michael Scott, on that one. Number 1, BeReal will probably be really annoyed to hear that Instagram is internally testing a clone of the spontaneous photo sharing app. So we covered BeReal before it was hot, like super hot. It's become like super hot. I think we were ahead of the curve on that one. But classic Instagram, eh, guys?
Oh man, Zuck just really wants like everything.
It makes sense because BeReal is like anti-Instagram.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I get why Instagram is trying, they want to make sure, they want to try everything, right? Does it say that they're just testing it, right? Internally testing?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But it just is funny though, because like what I find weird is that you need to create an environment like on Instagram, like it's okay to be kind of like fake and luxurious. Like that's what Instagram's for. I don't want to find a reason to, you know what I mean? Like, let me go and be real so I can see what's real. And like, let me go on Instagram, like just to, have a more luxurious life.
Stay in your lane, eh?
Yeah. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like I'm team anti-Zuck on this one.
I think I'm anti-BeReal here. Like, I think BeReal sucks.
Do you think it sucks?
Yeah, I think it sucks as a business. Like, I don't think it's going to catch on. I think it's gonna be kind of like Clubhouse.
Yeah, it could, and it might honestly. But at the same time, I'm just tired of Instagram half baking everything into their app.
Yeah, you're right that Instagram sucking has created a void. But I just think we need like a better Instagram. I don't think this like totally opposite of Instagram approach is gonna win, purely because the quality of the content sucks and it doesn't incentivize creators to be there because it's all about time off the app. You go on there for like 30 seconds, you get a catch up, then you get off the app.
Yeah, that is true.
How are you gonna make money on this app?
Instagram is coming for BeReal. BeReal might shut down because of Instagram.
Honestly, I think it will.
The thing is, Instagram has just become so unusable now. Like if you go on Instagram, it's laughable. I have like 3 tabs at the bottom I don't even use. That shop icon, I've never clicked. I click on it by accident. I'm like, why is this here? And then
but people use it though.
But it's like,
here's the thing. How much time do you spend on BeReal a day?
not long.
2 minutes.
How much time is your screen time for IG?
A little bit more. I don't use Instagram as much anymore.
But what do you think the average person that uses both apps is going to say?
Oh, like it's a significant less.
Even if it sucks, they're spending time on it. So I don't know. The incentive structure for Instagram isn't to make the app good. The incentive structure for Instagram is to make the app
money.
Yeah, and as much time on your phone as possible.
But at the same time, we're talking about early startups here. You know, like this is just the classic unicorn situation. Get lots of money and funding, and then Instagram was the same exact way, right? Like make the app cool and then monetize later. So
yeah,
BeReal has like this opportunity now, right? They have like the Snapchat opportunity where they have to like now understand like, okay, what is going to make us different, and then pivot to that.
Here's the thing though, is like you can create a great product. Like for example, like I started a restaurant and I'm like, here's my restaurant. It's high-end dining for fast food prices. And you're like, yeah, everyone likes it. It's high. It's better than the other options that suck. But like, okay, it's a great idea. People will like it and come to your restaurant. But like, how are you gonna make money? If your format, if your concept is high-end food for dirt cheap prices, you can't deliver that for profit. And that's the issue, is that BeReal's value prop is, we don't want you on this app all the time. We want you to just check in, check out. Well, like, are people going to pay money for this then?
But that's what we don't know exactly at the moment, because what we're finding is that it's still so early. So like they only have one feature that just makes the whole app, right? And that's take your picture right now, right this moment. They have a discovery page, but it's like whatever, right? But they're going to expand discovery. They're going to, they're probably going to find ways to put ads in there. They might introduce like their own sort of stories, or you know what I mean? Like to me, I'm not writing it off right away. You know,
I agree that they could do their own stories and all this stuff, but what I'm saying is, if they do those things, it goes against the principal value prop that they have today, which is fine. They might be able to pivot and no one get upset. Like.
And I think as well, users are starting to switch over to more specific apps. Like with Instagram, you have a shitty version of TikTok on there. You have Snapchat, right? Now you have a shitty version of BeReal. It's like the same kind of thing. It's like, oh, we offer, it's like a software. We do everything. We do email marketing. We do SMS, it just, at the end of the day, you just revert back to what they do best. So I'm just really curious to see how, because it worked when Snapchat, because it was Instagram that only had the one like core feature to it. Then they brought over the thing from Snapchat, which made a lot of sense. But now they're like, they have to like contain this gigantic ecosystem of shit.
Yeah, Instagram's like running out of space in their app to copy shit.
Yeah,
so like,
literally.
They're like, everything that they try to copy is just taking up more and more space.
Like I guarantee they're gonna have like another tab at the end. That's like Google Sheets. They have like Facebook Sheets or something like that. You click on it, you can start doing your spreadsheets in Instagram.
What's your prediction though? I think they fail. I think they have a good go at it and they fail.
I know. If you realistically, they will fail. That because that's the percentages, but I'm really hoping.
You're rooting for
them.
them.
I'm rooting for them.
How about you, Storm? You used BeReal for a little bit. You still use it or what?
Yeah, but I don't use social very well, like ever really. So
I'm the same way.
I struggle with it just in general, so I'm not the great guy to ask. But yeah,
that's true. Maybe I'm also the same, because I'm like bad at using social media. I never got into Snapchat, never got into Twitter. My screen time is so low on social.
Yeah. I use social media all the time, and like people just genuinely like they want to be cool. They want the cool thing. So that's just like what it is that they need to find a way to make it cool constantly.
I like observing on social media. Like I'll go on Twitter and I go on a few other platforms, but with BeReal, you physically have to participate every single day and post. Otherwise, you can't see other people's posts. So as like a fly on the wall observer, it's like not a fun space.
It's not fun because you have to post to see stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like.
Everyone has to contribute.
It's like it's like a constraint though.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of what I found that immediately turned me off from the app, which is like why it'll fail, is that Instagram has the hook on people where they're actually opening it when they don't want to. Muscle memory. Like, I was bored for 2 seconds in line and I just like opened the app and started using it. And BeReal has the opposite effect where like I see the notification, it's like a small bit of like stress. I mean, if I'm using it stress, like I have to post something now. I can't just like use it how I want. There's like a little friction before I can get in. And I just don't like that for social media. That's
it's
again,
tough,
different for everybody.
But at the same time, it's like what's funny is that when you guarantee that they post something, you're also guaranteeing that people stay on the app longer in general because they're going to go through all of their friends' posts.
Oh yeah.
So
if it works, it works well. If it fails, then they just it all crumbles. Because like you could go on and be like, oh, I posted, but like nobody else posted today because they didn't fucking feel like it.
And at the moment, I just care about my friends. Like they have a discovery panel where you can like see anybody, right? But I don't care. Like I don't care what anyone else is doing. I just care what my friends are doing at this current moment.
They should steal some features from other socials, like maybe snap streaks. Like you have BeReal post streaks. That way people are like committed that way.
I think there actually is that on
Do they already have
right
it?
now.
Oh.
Yeah, like I think it shows like a calendar.
Right. So it's
but
you get like points and then you get like exclusive perks. Like they could build it out maybe a bit more. But I agree. Like once you see all of your friends' posts in that half hour, you're not going to check 3 hours from now because everyone's pretty much posted in when they were supposed to, right?
Yeah.
But speaking of new features on social media, new in quotations, I guess, because maybe this is borrowed from elsewhere. But Twitter Circle, a feature that lets you tweet to a pre-selected group of 150 people, is now available.
It's like close friends, like on Instagram stories, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like close friends, but for your tweets. Honestly, this could save a lot of people a lot of fucking heartache because they're gonna tweet something that's gonna get them in trouble, but they can just like tweet to their
like they should
their social circle.
They should be called Twitter anti-canceled.
Yeah.
Because like what's gonna happen is that
cancel insurance.
Logan Paul is gonna be like, all right, I'm like these are my 150 accountable people to make sure I don't post something fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
And then they post it, and then if it survives the first day, you can post it publicly. But like if someone's like, "Hey man, that tweet was kind of fucked," you're like, "Okay, it stays in the circle."
Yes, delete it.
It's like a sample size then.
Yeah, it's like it's a testing group. I like this idea because I always think like I never got into Twitter. I'm always like, this would be funny. My friends would think this is funny, and I just like say it in the group chat.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just like post thoughts in the group chat.
Yeah.
I also don't want to like post thoughts in the public.
It's actually hilarious because if you tweet something, it doesn't come off as narcissistic. But if I just like post it in the group chat, just going for a walk, guys. Like you probably think I'm such an asshole.
Or if you were like democracy is dead. You know what I mean? Like in the group chat, like you just gonna spark some fire.
Yeah, literally. You just come out like it's funny because when you tweet it, you're like, that guy's thinking stuff. But when I post in a group chat, you just think, what a fucking asshole, you know?
I like this for two reasons. I like this because Twitter is such a place where people follow like idols and people they look up to. And I think from a networking perspective, you want to be in a lot of circles. Because I think if you're on Twitter and you're like exposed to ideas that are hidden from other people, like I can see shit that like venture capitalists are talking about or journalists or whatever content creators are talking about because I have like a connection with them.
It might also be engaging too to like if you tweeted something and like I didn't know you or something, but you added me to your close circle. I was like, oh damn, that's cool. Like Lee thinks I'm part of his circle, so I get to.
And it'll incentivize you to comment more. I can see like threads being more like inviting if like a celebrity posts something and then all of their own like other famous friends and stuff are all in the like it's like almost like more intimate social interaction rather than like you being like one person that actually knows them in a flood full of like randos. Right.
It's kind of like Drake's Instagram. Have you ever seen Drake's Instagram?
Yeah. He has it like only close friends can comment.
Yeah,
right?
only people that like follow each other back or whatever. And I just think it's so funny to like see like what celebrities are like commenting, right? Because I always feel like the Instagram comments is like looking sexy, like something cringe.
It's always bots. on the big pages
bots.
right away. It's like 100 bots. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because like, if you read his comments, they all look like they're bot generated. They're like fire, bro, with like a prayer hand emoji,
Yeah,
and a
literally.
fire emoji.
Man's got the.
But they're all
Man
blue
doesn't have
checks.
bots. He has yes men. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think it's a good feature.
yeah. Twitter's gonna stop you from being canceled. This Twitter feature is gonna stop you from being canceled. There you go.
And have you guys ever wanted to tweet from the top of a mountain?
I haven't been on the top of a mountain, but we talked about maybe doing like Mount Everest or some shit one day.
But you know what, Liam? I watched a documentary about Mount Everest. Do you know what's crazy?
What's that?
People who have died up there are still there, and they're used as monuments, as ways to like. So like, there's this guy who climbed up Mount Everest in the 90s or maybe like the late 80s, and he like just died up there, right? Couldn't get it. So now like, did you get up to green boots? Because he was wearing green boots. So like, you now are like going up to green boots.
Yeah, I don't want to be on the ruler.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what I mean. Like, yeah, did you get Sri Lankan? You know,
Yeah.
It's like
That's weird.
it's weird, and it's like, but I also read too that so many people have died up there that like you will see so many dead bodies if you go up Mount Everest.
And what happens if your BeReal notification goes off when you're at the top of the mountain? Like you're like, I'm literally on a mountain right now, and I can't fucking I can't take a picture. I can't
I know
flex.
you take a picture. I'm like, come on, man, you got to be real.
Be
That's
real,
freaking
man.
fake.
It's
Yeah.
freaking- like what can you do, right? Like there's no signal up there.
Well, now there is going to be signal at the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. There's going to be Wi-Fi.
Really?
How do you get Wi-Fi to Kilimanjaro?
19,350 feet at the top. The Tasmania Telecommunications Corporation says the summit will have a speedy smartphone broadband network installed by the end of this year.
I
you
hope to
imagine?
God they did not try to put fiber optic cable up the mountain and they just got Starlink. 'Cause-
Could you imagine they're just like, it's like, hey, I'm 19,341 feet up Mount Kilimanjaro. Can you send a guy up? There's just some guy like driving up with this like, you know, Rogers van. He's like, I came here to fix the internet, you know?
yeah, sets the whole thing up and then forgets the Wi-Fi password. So they have to do a reset.
It's like, hey, on your way here, it's already. It's like, I'm gonna have to bill you for these hours of driving up here. Like,
Do you have like a pin or something to push in the back? Honestly, no, man. I just packed a small bag. I'm gonna need you to come up here. Damn
yeah,
it.
I'll be up there in 3 days. Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
Isn't that what nature needs more of, though? Is just Wi-Fi connections and so
Yeah,
they can-
that's what I think when I'm like out experiencing nature. Like, why don't I have like
You're climbing up
fast,
Mount Everest with your teenagers.
high speed connection?
They should put a very rare Pokemon at the top of it for Pokemon Go. Anyone that gets the top of
Dude,
Kilimanjaro.
It's got to already have that.
Yeah,
If I'm the Pokemon Go developers, I'm putting
that'd be the first thing I do.
like crazy sick legendary Pokemon in the middle of the ocean and mountains and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, that'd be the first thing I do. I'd be like, there's no one's gonna get this Pokemon, so we might as well put it up there.
But can
know?
you imagine though, like
Freaking Articuno.
Kilimanjaro has like a Rayquaza, and then everybody in like Asia is like just swarming to the mountain
Yeah.
and climbing it so they can get a Pokemon.
Yeah, like there's too many dead bodies now. Like,
Yeah. There's just a bunch of dead bodies, and then it's a guy holding a phone with a battery pack attached to his hip, like plugged into it.
yeah, and like there's like a freaking picture of him like seeing Articuno like on top of a bunch of dead bodies. That would say a lot about society.
It's like a battery farm. So it's like if you get up there, just try, and your phone's getting low, just try around and see if any of the batteries still have juice.
Why do I feel like that's like a boomer meme, like ready to happen? Be like, this is this generation's priorities.
Yeah.
Freaking Pokemon on top of a bunch of dead bodies.
Putting rare Pokemon in the middle of the ocean or maybe in the middle of pools, it'd be hard to find these Pokemon, but the French government have found a way using AI to find roughly 20,000 undeclared swimming pools, which they're going after people because that raises the property value, and so they're trying to get some more taxes from people, but they're using AI to find pools that have not been claimed.
Oh my god.
Yo, what? They found 20,000 using AI.
Dude, I thought AI was supposed to be on our side.
Yeah, the AI
They're
sold
snitching.
out is snitching
Yeah.
to the government
AI is snitching on us to the government.
to make us pay more taxes.
Yeah, seriously. And you know what? We need to teach the AI that the government is not going to put that money back to them.
I think we need to pay this AI a little
Yeah.
visit.
Yeah. Hey AI, See what I got right here? I got a little knuckle sandwich for you.
Do you guys think that it would be funny if you had like a kiddie pool in your backyard for like your small like 3-year-old, and this AI picked up the pool? Or I wonder how big of a body of water it had to be to detect.
Yeah. That was just a vinyl picture. That wasn't a pool. I just put a giant vinyl picture of a pool on the ground, and Google Maps must have just thought it was a pool.
Yeah, the CRA is just like sending you just gigantic bills. Just they're like, screw it. Like,
I mean, you know what? This is, I think, from a government perspective, this is a really clever way to just realize a bunch of money. They said they've already made £10 million in additional taxes after using the software. That like pays for stuff, you know. And these are people with pools, and they were not declaring them. So like,
but it's like at the same time, it's like these AIs eventually are gonna like, you know, send a freaking drone with a robot gun to your head because you were caught jaywalking when no cars were across the street. You know, is that kind of vibe? It's like AI's got to be on our side.
Yeah, or just get like a lot of tree coverage in your backyard. Yeah, if you want to have a pool.
But then stuff drops in the pool, and that's not fun for cleaning the pool.
And it gets dirty.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want that, or do you want higher taxes? Pick your poison.
Yeah, pick your poison. I'm going. So yeah, I don't like AIs that snitch.
Snitching.
Snitchy AIs.
So now we're hopping over into the meme. This one is related to our extinct Tasmanian tiger / woolly mammoth. It's just a guy looking a little freaked out, an old school format.
Keanu Reeves.
You both yawned as you opened it, so I'll do better next week, I promise, guys.
No, did you yawn too?
You both yawned. I look over, you're both yawning. I'm like, yeah, this wasn't the strongest one, but I mean,
no.
The caption says
it's nothing to do with the meme.
It says at the top,
I think his face triggered us both because he's like this.
Oh, so we got you both.
So I think we just got triggered by it and yawned. I don't know what other explanation would make sense.
Try and do that face. Do that face.
I just did it and I forgot my camera's off too, so I'm just
do that face, Lee.
Why?
Just one more time. That's your face after seeing Vitalik.
Do you know what's funny? At the beginning of this episode, I'm like, I wonder how much of the Vitalik dick stuff I'll leave in, and then we brought it into every single segment that we did today. I'm like, well, now I gotta leave it.
Either you axe the whole episode or you leave it in.
Yeah.
So
at the top of the meme, it says, if there was a woolly mammoth, are elephants the unwoolly mammoths?
It is true. Ooh. I mean, don't woolly mammoths also have like big tusks and shit too, though?
Bigger tusks than elephants.
Oh, yes. Bigger tusks. That's right. Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
Some of us are blessed with big tusks. No.
Big tusk energy.
Elephants have average tusks. They're average size.
Should we acknowledge the fact that we're fucking famous now, or no?
Yeah, we
talked about it last
famous.
episode.
Yeah.
We have a TikTok now that's at like 450K or something like that. So
yeah, and it was about the emojis, and it was produced by the one and only Storm.
The producer.
Yeah, that one's almost 500,000 views on that on TikTok. So if you want to see what you're missing out, that TikTok particularly, guys, what we want you guys to do is go onto TikTok and just talk some shit about Android or iPhone because that video blew up because people are fighting to the death. I was joking with these guys. It was almost like we just like placed a bomb and then just like walked away from it and just like
it blew up. It blew up.
Like we've got 480,000 views on it and it's 1,200 comments and people are just unleashing anger and pain on each other. They hate each other. Yeah. And they're like going into these long comment arguments.
Yeah, seriously.
And it's just helping us win.
The top comment or the top theme that I've noticed is people not in North America being like, everyone uses WhatsApp. What are you guys even talking about? Like that seems to be the theme of non-North American viewers.
WhatsApp is so popular.
Somebody actually responded to the tweet, like to the stitch, and they're like an Irish guy. Like,
yeah. So if you want to see shorts, make sure you go on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. If you want to see longs, see Vitalik.
For long form.
That's good. Take a bow after that one. That's good. There we go.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. You can listen to us on any podcast platform, Spotify, YouTube, or Apple Podcasts. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll hope to see you next time.
Bye for now. See ya.